say wiproserver.wipro.com. Okay, so this is a FQDN of one server. Wipro.com is our domain name and the server name is wiproserver001. Otherwise, we can keep even host name also or IP address. IP address. So these are all ungrouped. Okay, above servers are ungrouped. If you want to group them, then we need to go for. If you want to group them, then we need to go for give the group name. Say here web servers or Tomcat servers, DB servers. So like this, we can create the groups. Say again in those groups, we can give those servers. One server can be resides even in two groups also. One server may resides in two groups also. So this is the example. Web servers we have, DB servers we have. Either IP address also we can give. Okay, so this is YAML format. So we can specify normal format like this. Okay, this is a plain kind of format. Otherwise, we can use YAML kind of thing also. In the ungrouped, we have one server. In the web servers, we have two servers. And in the DB servers, we have three servers. Okay, and the servers may be resides even in multiple groups also. The groups can be in the same server can be in the multiple groups also we can keep. So this is one pattern kind of thing. So what is the meaning of pattern is, instead of groups, we can specify the naming patterns also. Okay, say this is equal to how many number of servers? That is equal to www.01.example.com, 02.example.com. So you need to write down 50 servers. Instead of that, we are going to keep only one pattern. Okay, so this pattern is almost equal to 50 servers. Like like this till www dot like this, that is equal to 50 servers. Zero 01, 02. So we don't make complex like this patterns, all this basic. What is the inventory we have? You try to give that. And while running also, we are going to give -i. So while running the playbooks, we given host is our inventory file. Then while running the playbook, my nginx dot YAML, if I give YML or YAML, any extension is fine. Then our inventory file we kept is a host file. That host file path we have specified. That host file path we have specified here. So like this, we need to declare the variables. Okay, then what is a host variables is? So why we'll use the variables is I want different values. So for one Tomcat server, I want port is 800. On another server I need, then I'm going to create host to, I'm going to create variables in the inventory. So can you tell, say here I have one server like Tomcat servers. Then I give one server name. Then here I'm going to give HTTP underscore port. This is one variable. What I want is here 8080. In another server, what I want is 80. Okay, in the programming in the YAML file, I don't use 8080 or 8081. I'll use a variable. What is the name of the variable? What is the name of the variable? Pro server, that naming pattern is not a best practice. Here 001 colon. Okay, in the company, how the patterns would be is same characters try to get it. Say here if we have 0. They should have the same characters all servers, and it should be in a sequence order. Okay, say here what is the variable name? Whenever we are going to declare the variable name in the program, like we need to define like this. We need to call like this. Once we take the example, we'll understand. If I use this one in the first server, it will keep the port number is 8080. In the second server, it will keep the port number is 8081. So like this, I'm going to define. Like this, I'm going to define that one. Then what is this is? To all my servers, I have some of the servers in Texas. And I have some more servers in, Atlanta. I have some servers. I have one more group, Texas servers. Then here I have host 3 and host 4. Then for Texas servers, I'll keep different variables. That means all my servers for all my servers in Texas are different. say here my NTP server is used to set up the date and time in the Linux servers. Say here for this, I want to keep Texas time zone maybe. Then the proxy also maybe different server. It's not mandatory, but if you have two different groups, the variables are changing for different groups, then these are like here what we declared is host variables. Here what we are declaring is host group variables. That means we have the same variables for all the groups. But NTP servers I have different, Texas servers I have different. Then I'm going to define the host groups. So like this, I'm going to define. So what is the advantage of always using the variables in any programming language? What is the advantage of the using the variables is we'll get more reusability. That means the same script can be used for different environments, different values can be passed. So here we have the different variables we have declared. So now here if we go for this, say here we have one variable. What is this variable? If you don't want this path, then that you can change here itself in the variable. What is the name of the variable? Download underscore URL. And this is the value for this. This is the value. Okay. So now if you go for the code programming, so now here we have defined like this. That means normally here we need to give the URL, but here we are not giving the URL. What we have given?
We are declaring the variables.
That defining the variable here. That means whatever the value you keep here, this should be replaced here. Okay, in the same way, you want a port number, then HTTP underscore port number, you can define the variables. You can define the variables in this example, they define the variables in the playbook itself, they have defined the variables. Otherwise, in the previous example, I said in the host groups or in the variables, like in the inventory file, we can create the variables. Okay, so otherwise, as a separate file also, we can pass. Okay, so we can pass the variables in the inventory or in the play also. So here in this itself, in the playbook itself, we are defining the variables as vars. Okay, and or as a separate file also we can keep. That means I'm going to declare all the variables in one file called external underscore vars.yaml. That file I'm going to give. Okay, so now where we are keeping the variables is we can define the variables in playbook or we can define the variables in the playbook or in the
Inventory, sir.
inventory or external file. Okay, so we need to keep one file, maybe vars dot external var dot YAML. So in this, we are going to define all the variables like this. Okay, and here in your playbook, you are going to call like that. That means this play will use all these variables. And what are the values you want to replace? In the flower basis, we are going to use those values. But here we have an order also. And at the runtime, while running the playbook also, I have a variable called HTTP underscore. Then while running my playbook, my tomcat.yaml is there. Okay, I can use the option -e or extra vars. Then my HTTP underscore port, what is the value I want is 8083 I want. Do you understand the question? Sorry, scenario is, so you can define the variables even in the inventory also. But if you want to change that at the time of execution, you can pass them as
Variables.
command line also. At the time of playbook execution also, we can pass them as a command line using the option -e.
E.
We can pass the values whatever we want. Otherwise, in the variables itself, in the inventory itself, we can keep the value. By default, that value would be taken. But we have a priority order. So by default, like to the command line values, okay, inventory files, inventory group vars, so like this. But final this -e will have extra vars. That is having the lowest priority itself. Okay, in this order, it is going to take. But -e, the last listed variables override all other variables. Okay, so we can define the variables then that's going to use it. There is one more concept is there, Jinja to templates. I'll explain Jinja to templates. But before going to that, try to understand what exactly Jinja to templates also. What is the Jinja to templating those also, just to go through once. That is a Python concept. I'll explain why we'll use Jinja to templates in in Ansible also. Try to execute that Tomcat one. Tomcat script, try to execute. So then we are using the previously we used to work with ad hoc commands. We used to work with the ad hoc commands. Later we went for playbooks, but now we are going to use Ansible roles. So Ansible roles. So what is the concept of Ansible roles is Ansible roles having the folder structure or framework. Framework for reusability. For the reusability, we are going to use roles. So if I use the role, if another team also want the similar kind of role, only that role we can give to them. So with that, we'll get more reusability. So with that, we will get more reusability by using the roles. Okay, so that is the main advantage of using roles. Okay, so what is that roles and how it looks, we'll discuss. Okay, say in Terraform, like we have similar kind of concept. Any idea what is equal to Terraform, this roles kind of concept? In Terraform, we have Terraform modules. Okay, so in the Terraform, we can use the Terraform modules, and here we are calling as roles. So what is the folder structure? Like just like pipeline itself, but more folder structure would be there. So we'll go for Tomcat Ansible role. So if we go for an Ansible role for Tomcat, so this is having a folder structure. So can you tell me what are the files or folders we have? So defaults, handlers, meta, molecule, task, templates, test, variable. In the task, mainly our YAML file would be there. So again, here we have configure.yaml. So same our playbook itself, we have divided into multiple like folders and files. This kind of framework will give easy to decouple the resources. Which one? Say variables, all they'll keep in variables file. Handlers, all they'll keep in handlers. All variables they're going to define maybe here in the main.yaml. If you have any variables there, here we are going to. Otherwise, we may have the global variables also. Local variables will have role wise. Otherwise, we may have the global variables also. So like this, we are going to define like multiple roles we have. Okay, those roles we are going to use. Okay, so using the Ansible Galaxy, we can run this role. Okay, so that means if you have the Ansible, Terraform init will download all the modules, right? In the same way, Ansible-Galaxy. Otherwise, from the Git also, we can clone that one. We are going to download the, or we are going to install the role. We are going to install the role. Okay, once we install the role, how we need to write the playbook is, so just we need to reuse the role. So in this, your servers are like maybe I didn't kept servers. I kept Tomcat servers. Okay, then which version you want, that version you give. Say these all the users and passwords I want. Then I'm going to include the role. Say here itself, if I have one more role also, then this role also is getting executed. Okay, so I have one more role, maybe Nginx role is there, assume. That is also I have installed. Then in all that Tomcat servers, these all the roles are getting installed. If how the roles have been there, only this script how to use, we need to know. Okay, so you no need to write the complete script. Just we are going to
Define the roles, sir.
yeah, reuse those roles, and we need to define those in the main.ml, and that role is getting called. So with this, what is the advantage is it's easy to use the roles and reusability. For other teams also, we can share our work. For other team also, we can share our work by using the roles.
Hmm.
Okay, so that is the main advantage of using the roles. Any say here we need to work with the different type of roles because we are not currently using playbooks. So we use roles. So like this, you should able to tell. So if any team having another role also important which is required to your project, you no need to write it from scratch. You no need to write it from scratch. Just we need to use the role itself. Okay. And Ansible Galaxy is just like Terraform registry where we can keep all the roles and anyone can download those roles. It's a global Ansible itself is maintaining. Okay. So what we will ask in the interview is, what is the Ansible like role? Structure, that folder structure, they will ask. So how the Ansible roles, like that folder structure, we need to understand because we would be working with the roles itself. Okay, so here, assume in that, in our example, the roles is maybe Tomcat role. In that we have task, handlers, templates, files. These all the folder structure you should able to tell. This is the all the roles we have. Say again, web tier monitoring. These all other roles. In that also again we have this same kind of files or folder structure. Okay, so like this, we will have this folder structure. We should able to tell. Okay, I'll go for one more role. Try to understand. So here we have one scenario like maybe LAMP simple Linux, Apache, MySQL, PHP. So this is one of the script. So now here, can you tell me in this roles directory how many roles we have? How many roles we have?
3 roles.
3 roles. Again, in this, again, we'll have all those. Some roles may not have all that, but here, whatever the folder structure is, this is the best practice. In this, we have only handlers, tasks, and templates. We may keep variables, all those also. Okay, then three roles are there. Group variables or role specific variables also we can define. These group varies are global variables. For all that we can pass. Then here we are going to define host file also. Whatever the details you want, you can update in this inventory file. Okay, then we have site.yaml. So this site.yaml we should able to write. Okay, so now in all the servers, which role they have applied?
Common.
Common. In web servers?
Web.
Web. In DB servers?
DB.
DB. This how to do? Okay, so we should able to know. Okay, so we should know how to
Define the roles.
how to define the roles. But maybe sometimes 100% our roles may not work as per our requirements. We need to go inside the roles also and need to customize them. to understand. So our roles 100% doesn't work for our requirements. We need to customize as per our
Requirements.
requirements. So that's we need to able to do it. Okay. So then in this example, we have a one more role, right? DB role. Okay. I'll go for one more example, Tomcat standalone. In this project, in these roles, so they have SC Linux and Tomcat, but the DB role also copy to this. Okay. Then in the site.yaml, as of now, they are going to install only. That means DB role as of now we have with another team. Okay. So then in this, I want to use -host DB servers. Remote_host is maybe if it is Ubuntu, give the Ubuntu. Then become all these. Then here we are going to define the DB. Say in some servers, then I didn't develop the complete DB role. From the another team, I took it and I kept in my folder. Then I'm going to call that role. Okay, so like this, more reusability will come by using the more
Roles.
reusability will come by using the roles. As of now, we need to tell we are using Ansible roles. Ansible roles we are using like this. We should be able to tell. So for what deployments we are using is we are using for Tomcat, MySQL, Redis. All those roles are available. Where those roles are available? In the Ansible Galaxy. In the Ansible Galaxy, all those roles are available. Just we are going to use them as per our requirements. We need to use them as per our requirements. Okay, so as of now, we are moving for continuous deployment. We are using Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, but Ansible still we are maybe using for one requirement. For Linux patching, hardening of Linux servers, we are going to use Ansible. For continuous deployment, we are we used to work with Ansible prior. We need to tell, and currently we are using Docker and Kubernetes. So currently we are using Docker and Kubernetes. So Docker and Kubernetes as of now we are going to use. Prior we used to work with okay. So now like those roles and playbooks we should be able to tell because we are telling we used. Currently Ansible we are using. If you have any Linux servers for patching purpose, for hardening purpose, what is hardening? I'll explain. Maybe to install Kubernetes also. This is also old story. As of now, we are using EKS, which is managed or provisioned by Terraform. So now EKS you no need to create through Ansible. EKS can be provisioned through
Terraform.
Terraform. Okay, EKS module would be there. Using the Terraform, we can provision. But previously, if we have the instances on top of that, if you want to install the Kubernetes, there we used to work with
Ansible.
Ansible. There is an Ansible role. Okay. So Ansible used to give using the role called as Cube Spray. Can you tell me what Cube Spray role will do in Ansible? What Cube Spray role will do in Ansible?
It will install the Kubernetes.
It's going to install the Kubernetes on Linux missions or EC2 missions. As of now, we are not using EC2 instances. We are not installing Kubernetes. Directly, we have a managed service in AWS called as EKS. So EKS provisioning can be done through GUI, but the best method is through Terraform. So using the Terraform, we are going to provision that. Okay. So what is the meaning of hardening of your Linux servers? Is we may have hundreds of Linux servers. We need patching, updates. Okay. Say if any of the unnecessary users are added, it's a weekend. Say suppose you may be busy with all the weekdays. You may not clean up your home or you may not keep the things properly. What we will do in the weekend is we'll do all those activities on the weekend. In the same way, we may do a lot of things in the weekdays, but we may need to do some maintenance kind of activities due to security purpose or patching purpose, optimization purpose, unnecessary things we need to clean up. So these all in hundreds of servers we need to do. Manually doing is very costly kind of thing and manual process. Then Ansible is the best tool for that. Okay, say delete unnecessary files, directories, users, restrict unnecessary privileges. Okay, say stop unnecessarily started the services. Those we don't want to now to run. So these kind of maintenance activities we can perform using the hardening of the Linux servers, using the Linux hardening of the Linux servers. So this today also we need to tell we are executing that kind of script. So what are the things we can do that may company to company, it may changes. Check the checklist of those also. So here, instead of doing all those in the hundreds of missions through commands using the Linux commands, better to go for Ansible. Better to go for the Ansible. As of now, even if you go for Kubernetes for your application deployment, for a hardening of your Linux servers, we are going to use
Ansible.
Ansible. So the Tomcat, MySQL roles just go through and this playbook. Say you try to go through all these and you should able to do a role play kind of thing. These are the things I have done in my job. Okay, so just go through all this in the real time. Even this playbook would be even very bigger. Every week we are responsible to run this playbook. We should able to tell, and after that maybe we'll have some checklist kind of thing also. Post execution of these scripts, everything is working fine. All these also we need to check once. Okay, so like that we are going to prepare we need to prepare. Okay, say here what are the things it is doing. Okay, say it is enabling firewall D is installed or not. If any of the mission firewall service mandatory it should running, and unnecessary services it's going to block. Say here these services here we are going to pass them as an iteration. You want to add more services also, you can add. So those are not required, those services. Then you can remove them. Okay, we are stopping. Okay, and which of the services you required, you are going to running them. And SC Linux is one of the security feature of the Linux, better to enable those. If any reboot is there, it's going to perform the reboot. Host kernel settings. So just try to get, you should able to tell this playbook we are using for the security of your Linux servers. Every week we are going to run this playbook. So in all the missions, maybe not opened all those, but it's one of the best practice. Okay, so every week as a maintenance kind of activity, we are going to perform this role. Okay, any doubts? So try to explain all this, and this role execution, all this we'll do in the tomorrow class. Yeah, please download that one and try to run Tomcat itself first. Execute the Tomcat playbook. Let's get more errors, no issues, but try to perform more playbooks. Okay, under this hardening, cube spray, Tomcat, MySQL, RabbitMQ. So these itself we should tell in the job confidently. We should able to explain that playbooks. And if they ask also this hardening of the Linux playbook, we should able to write. They no need to expect all that, but basic if we explain the outline, that would be good. Even in the job also we'll have a playbook like this, and they'll give the KT for 5 to 10 minutes, and they'll try to like expect to execute that. Okay. Terraform, Ansible, like you need to like perform every day. Terraform also need to practice. You shouldn't stop with the Terraform. Ansible also in the same way. These are never-ending kind of things. Every day we need to enhance something. Then only we'll get that expertise. Terraform also you need to perform lot of modules. You need to perform different AWS resources. You need to provision. So like this we should work. And different playbooks also we should. Let's get errors, no issues. Try to execute more playbooks. And more roles. In Ansible Galaxy, we'll have some thousands of roles. We need to install that role and need to execute that role. Okay. So tomorrow I'll show that execution of that roles.